Hey guys, I'm going to be changing a bit the way how I release videos, but I'm going to talk about that at the end of the video. So, this video is not a full build guide, it's just what I'm currently building, and because of that, overall quality of the video will be lower. I just want to make a short video, show what I'm building, get some feedback, get some ideas, and then prepare for the actual build video. So, this is Elemental Siege Ballista, Scion, Elementalist, Chieftain. I call it Chieftainist. I scale mostly lightning damage, because I really love shocks. Sadly, Iron Commander above does not scale very well with dexterity, so just getting a lot of dexterity is not the best way to scale it. And this is probably also not the best way to scale it, but I just wanted to do elemental build. Didn't want to do poison and didn't want to use ranger class and do some critical build. So I currently have 5 Siege Ballistas, and DPS for each of them is 12,000, that is with 5 link and lesser multiple projectiles. For single target I can swap LMP with added cold damage and it goes to 90,000. While it doesn't look very high, but it is for each Siege Ballista, and this does not account for shock status. So the combined DPS goes over 100,000. So let's see my items. Iron Commander, of course. Well, other buffs could give more damage, however Iron Commander gives additional maximum Siege Ballistas, so the overall combined DPS is higher with Iron Commander. Next I'm using Kintsugi armor, because without it I feel very squishy. There are other armors that could give more damage, like Lightning Coil that gives lightning damage and mitigates physical damage into lightning damage, but I just can't balance my resistances. Another armor that can give a lot of damage is Here's Ire. It gives a lot of cold damage and also has 10% chance to dodge attacks and 10% chance to dodge spell damage. However, it does not have maximum life, which is sad, because this build is, well, squishy. The perfect form might be great, but I don't know. It would allow to use Arctic armor for free and it gives phase acrobatic. But again, I have trouble with cold resistance and I never really used it before. Next, my helmet, dexterity, life and some resistances. Gloves, dexterity, high resistance roll, maximum life and also added fire and lightning damage. Also I have tried using Thunder Fist gloves for added lightning damage and attack speed, but then again this build is squishy and I need life and resistances. But these gloves has another mod, 100% increased shock duration on enemies, which might enable bosses to be shocked, well, without using lightning trap. So it might actually be worth using them instead of my current gloves. But I still need to balance my resistances and, well, just get more life. Unique belt that gives a lot of damage. I might replace it later if I can get enough DPS. Boots. Crap, but gives damage. Rings and amulet with some damage, some resistances and life, which can definitely be better. Unique quiver that gives another Siege Ballista. If I could get 600 dexterity I would probably replace this, or maybe keep it for more ballistas. Links. Siege Ballista linked with faster attacks, weapon elemental damage, lesser multiple projectiles and added lightning damage. I am also using Frenzy to generate frenzy charges and apply curse. Orb of Storm with crit to trigger elemental overload, Wrath and Herald of Thunder for damage, passive skill tree, Elementalist and Chieftain ascendancy classes, because I just didn't know what would better suit Elemental Siege Ballista build. I never really play both builds, so I have no clue, but I like elemental damage. Elementalist gives reduced elemental damage taken and penetrates elemental resistance. Also gives 30% increased damage when I use Lightning Golem for lightning damage. Chieftain, I don't really have a lot of fire damage, so ignite doesn't really matter. However, it gives 30% increased damage while I have Totem and also regenerates some life when I have Totem. Well, and also gives a bit more fire damage. So I took a lot of Totem nodes, attack speed nodes, some life, well, as much life as I could. Jewel slots to use fluid motion jewels to convert my strength into dexterity, which I now have a bit over 400, and that gives me 2 additional Siege Ballistas. Then more elemental damage, weapon elemental damage, elemental overload, and that is for level 79, so there is a bit more room to grow. So that's basically all about this build. Now let's talk about other things. As I mentioned, I want to change a bit how I release videos. This video is like a theory crafting and also like a discussion, so we can talk about the ways to improve this build, things to test, items to use and all that stuff. However, here's the thing, doing these theory videos spoils a bit build guide videos, because it takes away the surprise and the presentation does not feel that impactful. So, these theory crafting videos will not appear on YouTube. Well, they will be on YouTube, but they will be unlisted. And they will be published on Patreon. We can create a small community of people who really like discussing about builds, sort of like making builds together. And then I would release a build guide video on YouTube. You would also be supporting me, and I would not have to rely on ads as much. I don't know what's going to happen with YouTube, but you will see more and more people using something like Patreon, because it's becoming harder and harder to make money on YouTube just from ads. I know not everyone can afford to support content creators, so don't worry. Basically everything remains the same except for Patreons who get access to additional videos, conversations, and some behind the scenes stuff. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and see you in either random talk video or build guide video.